Have you ever thought about life's most difficult choices? I mean the ones that truly weigh on you. Not in a simple, right or wrong kind of way, but something much deeper. What if there's a way to look at these moments that our busy, modern world has forgotten? A quieter way. Today, let's talk about that. Let's look at one of life's heaviest choices with fresh eyes. This isn't about picking sides or telling you what to do. This is about noticing the quiet currents that flow underneath everything, the way our lives are connected. And something worth noticing is this: understanding this might gently change the way you see every connection in your life. So just take a breath. Let your shoulders soften. Let's explore a very human question and look for an answer in a quiet place. Here's something to consider. Imagine someone, years ago, who made an impossible choice. A choice about a pregnancy that could not continue. It was wrapped in difficulty, in circumstances you can't judge from the outside. Now, years later, there's a feeling that lingers. A sense that a connection wasn't finished. A quiet question in her heart: is there blame? Is this a weight I must carry forever? Wisdom doesn't answer with thunder and judgment. No, not at all. Actually, it points to something far simpler and much kinder. It suggests that cause and effect is not about punishment. It's simply about connection. It reminds us that every stream of life is on its own journey, and it shows us that the weight of such a choice isn't carried by just one person. It's a shared ripple in a pond, a ripple that started long before that moment and continues to spread. If these deeper questions about life speak to you, if you are searching for clarity in the quiet, then I invite you to walk this path with us. Subscribe and join our community. We are here to explore these things together, with patience and without judgment. Let's look at this closely. Ancient wisdom doesn't really talk in terms of right or wrong, black or white. It talks about seeing things as they are. It guides us to observe the way life actually works. And through quiet observation, something becomes very clear. A stream of life, a potential for being, begins its journey from the very start. At the moment of conception, it doesn't wait for a heartbeat. It doesn't wait for a certain number of weeks. From that first instant, the journey toward form begins, drawn forward by deep connections and a purpose we can't always see. But here is the most interesting part. The wisdom also tells us that this little stream of life knows the landscape it is flowing into. It knows the difficulties that might be ahead, and sometimes, just listen to this with an open mind, sometimes its journey is complete, even if it never reaches the great ocean of a full life. You might be thinking, how is that possible? How can a journey be complete if it doesn't reach the end? Just stay with me for a moment. This is where we need to look differently. Let's think about connection. Often we see life's consequences as some kind of payback. You do something and the world pushes back. A sort of cosmic score keeping. But maybe it isn't like that at all. Simply put, connection is just connection. It's like the roots of trees underground. They touch. They intertwine. They share the same earth. Every time your life touches another, a connection is made. Not good, not bad. It just is. A shared story has begun. Have you ever met someone and felt you knew them already? That's a deep root. Have you ever felt a difficult tie to someone that you just couldn't explain? That's a root too. These connections don't simply end when a body is gone. They change form. They continue. They ask for our awareness, our understanding. So, the potential life that comes toward you is never a stranger. It's a life current you have a deep connection with. Maybe in the great flow of existence you've touched before. Maybe there was a gentleness or a hardship that now seeks balance through the deepest connection. There is a parent and a child. This changes everything. When a pregnancy ends, that underground root doesn't just disappear. The connection between these two currents of life doesn't stop. It just changes. If you've experienced this, you know it doesn't just go away. You carry it, not as a ghost, but as a knowing. That's not just your mind playing tricks. That is your own deep awareness recognizing the truth. The connection continues. So here is a moment to just be honest with yourself. I invite you to declare a gentle intention. In the comments below, just write this sentence: Idose I choose compassion for my path dos. It's a way of saying you are ready to look at your own journey with kindness. So let's ask the direct question. What is the outcome? What is the consequence? The answer that wisdom offers might be different than what you expect. Everyone is affected, and no one is punished. Let me explain it this way. In the vast flow of things, there is no price, like we have in a marketplace. There's no one with a ledger book adding up mistakes. Instead, there is simply experience. There is growth. There is the natural unfolding of a path that has been chosen. When a life's journey back to form is interrupted, a few things happen. First, that current of life has a choice. It can wait and flow again towards the same person, perhaps at a different time, a different season. It can choose another riverbed entirely, or it can become a supportive presence from a place we can't see, like underground water that nourishes the plants above. Ancient wisdom often points out that some of the deepest feelings of guidance we have come from these quiet connections. Think about that for a second. That feeling of being watched over, of being held by a silent kindness. It might not be what you think. It may just be the presence of a life that shared your own for a short, important time. Second, the parent finds what we can call the lesson of choice and its ripple. This is not a penalty. It's an opportunity to grow. Every path we take shapes who we are. Some lessons are quick and clear. Others are slow, unfolding over a lifetime. It has been observed that women who walk this path often grow a deep tenderness toward children later in life. They become helpers. They become teachers. The result wasn't suffering. The result was awareness. It was a deepening of their own capacity for compassion, for understanding just how precious life is. And third, this is very important, the connection is not one-sided. Remember, that little stream of life was also part of the journey. On some unseen level, it was part of this experience too. The universe is a place of balance, not of heroes and villains, just of beings helping each other become more aware. So what is the outcome? Both grow. Both learn. Their connection across the great mystery deepens. And that consequence is also a gift. Now, this is where this old wisdom becomes a real path for healing. It doesn't just describe what is happening. It shows us a way to find stillness. If you carry the weight of this experience, or you love someone who does, please listen closely. The connection between two life currents goes beyond the physical. This means finding peace is always possible. Not by trying to forget, not by pushing it away, not by drowning in guilt, but by gently acknowledging what is and nurturing that connection. Wise teachers through the ages have suggested a few simple practices. First, acknowledge the connection. In your quiet moments, perhaps before you sleep, just speak to it in your heart. Acknowledge its attempt to find form. Thank it for the brief connection. Ask if there is a way you can honor it. This might sound unusual, but many who do this feel a sense of peace they thought was lost forever. Second, understand that acceptance isn't a final destination. It's a daily practice. We must accept our own humanness, not just once, but over and over again. Today, you might accept that you made a choice in an impossible time. Tomorrow, you may simply accept being human. Each layer of acceptance gently heals a different part of the heart. Third, let the experience become a source of good. Our deepest wounds can become our greatest strengths. Your wound isn't here to hold you down. It is here to carve you into a more compassionate human being. And fourth, trust the wisdom of the flow. A message you see repeated in old teachings is this: nothing is ever truly an accident. Every connection, every loss, every choice that keeps you up at night is part of a bigger pattern. You cannot see the whole river from where you stand, but your deeper self knows, and on some level, beyond judgment, there is purpose. There is flow. There is even love. If you feel something shifting as you listen to this, if these words are touching a place you've kept closed, maybe share this video. Share it with someone who needs to hear that they are not walking alone. And if you're ready to continue this journey of inner clarity, subscribe. This is just the beginning. let's just look at the bigger picture for a moment. This way of seeing things is part of a much larger understanding. The understanding that your true nature is timeless. Your body is a vessel, a temporary house you live in, a place where your consciousness comes to learn specific things. And every other person you meet is a teacher. Some teachers are your parents, your children. They stay for decades. Some teachers are just for a moment, like a stranger who says a kind word when you need it. In this way of seeing, nothing is wasted. Every single experience adds to the depth of your journey. The life that almost took form through you is not lost. It's not in some sad, waiting place. It is continuing its own journey, growing, and possibly, it is closer to you now than it ever could have been in physical form. Here is a simple truth ancient wisdom always comes back to: the connections of the heart are stronger than connections of the body. That presence might be what you feel as intuition. It might be the whisper that guides you. The relationship did not end. It transformed. And that transformation is part of your own path, part of what you are here to understand. Now, I get it. Some of you are thinking, this is a nice story, but how do I know it's true? That's a good question. The truth is, you can't prove it like a math problem. These kinds of truths are not for the calculating mind. You can only feel them. You can hold them up against your own life. Have you ever just known something without knowing how? That's your deep wisdom speaking. That's your inner knowing, recognizing a truth that is wider than logic. These ideas are not meant to be believed without question. They are meant to be held quietly, to be felt. And if they bring a little more peace, a little more stillness to your heart, then they are doing their work.